So what we're going to do is we're going to play some Headbangers tonight in homage and respect to our generation. Gen X, are we adults yet? Generation X is truly the last generation of Headbangers.
Hi, I'm Jason.
And I'm Greg.
We are Gen X, and welcome to our podcast. We're the last generation to grow up with.
Thank you for tuning in and hanging out with us. We do appreciate you. We are growing. We've been on YouTube for, 10 months now? Coming up, May something is a year, coming up on a year. We have just over 190 subscribers. We are trying to get to 200. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Gen X, if you are watching, hit that subscribe button and let us know you're out there watching. Hit us up on TikTok. You have exclusive content. Gen X, are we adults yet? Over on TikTok, we're building a following over there. So all of those Gen X TikTokers and all the TikTokers over 50, all of you guys, find our content over there. A lot of exclusive stuff going on over there. Shout out to our Monday crew. We appreciate each and every one of you, and to everybody over on our audio only side. Right now we have downloads coming out of Ukraine, and all I want to say, one side or another, that's a war-torn country, and they are finding time to listen to our podcast. So thank you, whoever's over there.
Gen Xers
listening to our podcast. We have a handful of downloads coming out of Ukraine right now. So whoever's over there listening, hey, we see you, we hear you. Thank you guys for listening or watching, listening to our podcast.
Is that kind of the same as being on your European tour?
Yeah, so we're on tour right now.
We're on tour in Europe
right now.
We're playing in Ukraine.
We have a few stops over in Japan, a few stops in Canada. Canada always comes
Australia,
in strong.
Right?
Yeah, the numbers, chime in. The numbers come in quarterly. So anyways, shout out to you guys.
Gen X private jet.
And then, of course, we just helicopter into the top of Volker's Towers here. So thank you guys for watching, listening, and following. We greatly appreciate all of you guys. Greg, my friend, tell us something good.
What's up, dude? I'm doing yard work again.
Yeah?
Yep.
Why is that good?
It feels good.
It feels good.
That's like just go do stuff. And make the yard look nice.
Yes.
It gets pretty wintry in my neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Everything just dies.
Right.
I don't have the neighborhood where everyone sprinkles their grass with all this stuff to keep it green all winter long or anything. So the whole neighborhood just dies. So me and my neighbor were out mowing across the street from each other today.
Right.
Made eye contact. Did the neighborly wave.
Yeah. And then compared lawns.
You don't get to do that in the winter.
Talk shit.
Like you might see each other like coming and going from the house. That's about it in the winter.
Yeah.
But yeah.
One of those theories about living in the Matrix or in a simulation is that there's not enough processing power or storage or something, some glitchy thing or something, limitation that we don't see our neighbors carrying in groceries and stuff like that.
I think I have, though. I've seen my neighbors carrying in
Think about that. Do you ever see your neighbors carrying in groceries? I don't. I really don't.
Not really.
I don't. And I don't know. What we're going to do here today is that, we're going to discuss all things headbanging. I wasn't able really to pinpoint like one source of headbanging, and this isn't a documentary on headbanging, but what I did find out that headbanging goes back to the late 60s to a couple of spots. Some spots kind of center around Led Zeppelin and their crowd and some of the antics they were doing on stage. But the angle we're going to follow is the one that credits Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath.
Okay.
For not the original, but for maybe putting it on the map, I think is fair to say. Right.
I think when I was a little kid, my uncle played Black Sabbath for me, and it was kind of scary, and I didn't really like it. But I was probably 7, and I heard War Pigs.
Shout out to YouTube for letting us play this.
Right? YouTube. Maybe that's how you do it. You just mention YouTube during the song a few times.
YouTube.
Hey,
Beetlejuice.
You're not gonna cut yourself out, are you?
Ozzy Osbourne's banging his head, man.
Yeah, dude,
and that's Tony. Yes. I'm just telling you guys. So this is 1970, 1969, 1970, right? Are they the first? No. What I'm saying is this is the angle we're following when it comes to headbanging. Ozzy God bless his soul. I love this guy. I'm a huge fan. Always have been. 2025 is going to be his year. They have scheduled his final appearance, his final show, if he lives to it, with the remaining members of Black Sabbath. So it's a Black Sabbath reunion show, and that'll be his final show.
Hasn't he done his final tour a few times?
Well, that's just the name of the tour. Yeah.
Billy Joel and Stevie Nicks are coming to town. That would be a cool show to go to.
That would be. I would.
That's probably a last chance show right there.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty dope. I mean, yeah, that's a lot of headbanging, bro. So this video in particular, is that what they say? They're like, look at him, man. You won't find anyone before us doing it.
Straight up right there. Boom, 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 boom. Do. Shout out to Ozzy freaking Osbourne. Big fan.
I've never seen him live, bro, in all these years.
I've seen him live
never
a few
been to a show. I know you haven't.
I love it. I love it.
Ozzy, of all the guys, never ran into him. The first CD I ever bought was Ozzy Osbourne.
Which one?
What was the one that came out in the early 90s? It would have been like 91.
Oh, that was the one with Shot in the Dark on it, and those other ones.
First CD I ever bought when I bought my first CD player. I had one of those 5 CD. The whole tray came out. You could put 5 CDs in it. That's what I bought, and my first CD I bought was Ozzy.
Nice.
Whatever album that was.
And No More. Was it No More Tears?
Yeah, 91. No More Tears.
There you go.
First CD I ever bought. Good call.
Is that No More Tears?
91.
So what we're going to do is we're going to play some Headbangers tonight in homage and respect to our generation. Gen X, are we adults yet? Generation X is truly the last generation of Headbangers. And tonight we picked out a handful of songs that we're just going to bang our heads to and give it a headbanging score.
There's not, kids are not doing that anymore, huh? It's not a thing still.
You know what? This was really cool. It wasn't that long ago, within the last 2 or 3 years, I was driving by a school, and this old pickup truck was coming down the road, and it looked like they just picked up some junior high kids. They were blasting Metallica. The windows were down. The 2 young kids were doing nothing but just banging their heads as they drove. They couldn't see anything. Their heads were down. Their hair was just doing this, and they're just... However, they were just doing it. Just bam, they couldn't see anything. They were, and I'm like, oh yeah, that was metal. I gave them the whole metal sign as they drove by everywhere. I did. So those kids
still some respectable metalheads going on. It's like kids who had good parents and raised them on good music, and they still listen to some metal.
Yes, we go to Aftershock every year. Aftershock is, well, depending on, the day, they kind of split it up.
Guys our age.
But, there's a lot of families, and there's a lot of young folk there, too. There are a lot of young folk. A lot of these bands have a really young following. Slipknot's got a pretty young following. It's pretty solid. They play there a lot. Korn's got a pretty young following.
I guess if you're still putting... if you're putting out new albums and stuff still, then... Yeah.
ICP had a huge young following. I'm like, how the hell do you guys even know about these guys? Huge following.
That's a cult.
That's a cult.
Yeah, they're a cult. They're like the...
Hey, don't act old. So we have a list from everyone from Ozzy Osbourne to Megadeth to Queen. Here are some of the songs that we loved banging our heads to. And the first one we just opened up with was Black Sabbath, and it was Live in Paris. And we're going to give that a headbang score of 9. It wasn't the 10, but it was 9 because, 1, it's Ozzy. 2,
that's OG.
He didn't invent it, but he's putting it on the map. He was doing it first.
And kids are still, if there's still kids headbanging, they're headbanging to that song still.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes. So Ozzy himself, he loves metal. He's banging his head to his own music. How rad is that?
Right.
That's just, I don't know what that's like to write a song and then have me enjoy it, let alone have...
I never wrote a song.
Millions of people do. Well, I have no idea what that feels like. That would be so awesome.
Never even wrote a poem.
Poems, everybody. All right, so this next song, here we go. We're going to just play some songs. So kick back, put the phone up, however you're going to position it, turn the radio up on your way to work, however you're doing it. we're going to play some songs, and I want you to bang your head, and I want you to not bang your head, and I want you to give it its own score. And if you're following us on social media, leave us a comment down below what your thoughts are, what songs we missed, what songs we nailed, and, you know, your headbang score too, your experience with these songs, right? So these songs aren't going to be limited to just the 80s. This song is from a Gen Xer's point of view, so we're going to go through time a little bit.
We get a big window, bro.
We got a big window.
We get a big window of metal music to select from.
This first band I found on MTV, and I'm like, who are these guys? And I had no idea.
That kind of punk music, bro. Because this still makes me want to ride a skateboard really fast.
It's 1980, bro. Motorhead, a single from the album with the same name, released in 1980. This riff grabs you by the face with a loud, gritty hand and smashes it. It's so thick and crunchy.
Guitar,
yes,
so sick.
And he's like doing that screamy yell thing, but it's not screamy yell, but he can hear it. But it's Lemmy Kilmister. These guys from across the pond, and these guys were doing it like this in 1980. Their version of thrash metal, their version of like hard rock or rock and roll or heavy metal, whatever it is that they called it. Ace of Spades, Motorhead makes our list because I'm going to give it a headbanging score of number 9.
Yeah, you can't sit still when you're listening to this. If you can, you're a freak of nature.
Ace of Spades, the Ace of Spades. Gritty, loud, fast. Yeah. 1980. That's the big deal. They were doing it.
That means they were doing this in the 70s.
OGs,
they didn't get
bro.
famous until the 80s.
OG, bro. Yes. All right, Ace of Spades. We got it.
Yeah,
that was number 2 on our list in no particular order, but we're going to give that a headbang score of 9.
Yeah, Motorhead, dude.
I've been banging my head since I saw that song, since I watched that video on MTV, waiting for other videos to come on. And when that one finally made it into their rotation, I'm like, okay, I like this. I like this. And the video, his microphone is way up here like this, and he's and the whole bass is just crunchy and stuff, and he's got long hair, and he's but the microphone was way up here. It wasn't down like this.
Yeah,
it's kind of neat. I'm like, oh, this is metal. Kind of like a concert video, sort of. But I don't think they ever showed the crowd. You know what I mean? One of those.
Yeah.
I threw this next one on the list. I ran this list by a few friends of ours, and I threw this next one on this list, and you know, I think it's a headbanger. But is it like a thrash metal headbanger? No.
The Stephen King movie. It says 4.
It was showing
That's
up in the
a really
movie.
important word.
Multiple songs. Let us know which one we should have picked down in the comments.
Does that mean they have scenes from the movie in the video?
Yeah, the truck with the looks like a clown, or the torn looks like the face. He's coming at you and shit.
I just remember the soda scene. Remember the soda machine? It starts shooting sodas at the guy, and it kills him, shooting him between the head.
Got him.
The forehead.
Got him.
Got him.
We're going to step out of the 80s. We're going to step into a brand new genre. A genre we never heard of before. A genre that definitely had its own following. It wasn't thrash metal. It wasn't hair metal. It wasn't glam metal. And it wasn't synth pop. And it wasn't your standard rock and roll. It absolutely was not any of these things. In the 90s, we got introduced to a whole new genre of metal, a whole new genre of music. Called nu metal. This new genre of nu metal hit with bands like Korn and obviously Limp Bizkit here. And out of Limp Bizkit songs,
We saw Limp Bizkit before they were famous.
we did. Family Values Tour.
Yeah, they were an opener when the place wasn't even full yet and the lights were still on. This album was sick though, dude. This is great drive to work music.
Significant Other, 1999. I'm giving this song a headbang score of freaking 10, bro.
This was drive to work headbanging. We were those guys in the car that couldn't see where they were going. I had already gotten rid of my mullet by then, though. I wasn't rocking a cool mullet in 99, though.
I wasn't either. I had the short haircut, right? Some headbangers from the very first note, and some just get better as the song goes. This one, it's got the breakdowns in it. But the whole riff, the whole style, it's a rap and metal mix. Love them or hate them. When Limp Bizkit hit the fucking scene, dude. When Limp Bizkit hit the scene, dude, it changed. We had a whole new genre of music.
They got a little bit of the Korn kind of. They got the Korn vibe.
Yes.
But yeah, these guys, it's too bad they didn't stick together. I don't know what happened. What happened with Limp Bizkit, you know?
They're still around. Wes Borland, I think, comes in and out of the band, I think, or something like that. They still have their drummer and DJ Lethal. You still got, Fred Durst. He looks different every time, every tour. Right now, or the last time I saw him was Aftershock last year. Or was it the year before? I think it was last year. He was a new metal cowboy, so he's had a cowboy hat and shit, and he's all dancing and shit like a cowboy and stuff, whatever.
Achy breaky.
Doing all that shit, yeah. But to singing this. Stick it up, y'all. Stick it up, y'all. Doing two steps and shit, yeah.
That's wrong.
Biscuit.
Little breakdown.
Tell me you're going to listen to this song, and especially to this point of the song, and you're not going to just throw your head through your lap and over your back and snap your own freaking neck.
When the beat hits.
You're going to be jumping and banging your head at the same freaking time, guys. Guaranteed freaking shit. So I've been in a Korn crowd. Or we're talking about I'm reading Korn.
Yeah.
I've seen these guys. I've been in this crowd. I've jumped with this crowd during the song, and it's fucking amazing.
I think I only saw him that one time.
And the crowd starts screaming and shit right here. I admit, I screamed. I screamed just because the guy next to me screamed. I was a part of that.
Permission.
I was part of that.
Permission given.
Oh my God. It was so good to do that. It was so good to jump.
And you understand how Beavis felt.
Oh my goodness. I do. So, Nookie gets a score of 10. I mean, straight up. I mean, from the opening riff.
Wait, what's that Limp Bizkit Angry song? That was a good one too. Break thing.
Break stuff.
Yeah.
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 It's just one of those. Yes.
Just one of those days.
The next song is an absolute must when we're talking about nu metal, and I lost my my playlist here. Is an absolute must when talking about nu metal. And as soon as you guys already know what it is. I have to play this one when it comes to nu metal. And when it comes to this band, you have to play this song because this is the song that kicked it all off. This is Korn, 1994. And you guys know this from the first time the cymbal hits, right? I found these guys by accident. We were going to see Ozzy, and this band named Korn, Korn in my shit, Korn in my this, blah, 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 was opening for Ozzy. I'm a big Ozzy fan, always have been, right? So I'm just, whatever, just not even focused or worried about these guys, right? So we're going. I'm with Michelle. I'm with my cousin Mikey. I'm with Greg and Don, Eugene's little brother, and Don Camping. Right. Shout out you guys if you guys watch, man. Love you guys. We go to this concert, right? And they put down this bottle of Goldschlager, the cinnamon schnapps, Goldschlager, right? I think it was cinnamon schnapps, and with the gold flakes in it. Right?
It was very popular at the time.
Yes. Are you? So we go to see this band, right? And they drink the bottle. I say they because I didn't drink that much of it or whatever. It didn't. Anyways, we get in there and Michelle's like, all right, we're good. We go down, we get there on the floor. The lights go out. Everybody rushes up front. We're not too deep. We're in a good spot. They open with this song. I'm like, good Lord. I've never seen a crowd jump before.
Right.
This is the first time. They're moshing, but they also jumped.
Yeah, all together.
Yeah. So the crowd jumped, and it was amazing, right? So we got through this song. I remember some bagpipes coming out, right? And I'm like, okay, this song, I'm like, oh my God, I heard this song. This is that metal nursery rhyme song. I'm like, oh, this is that band. I made that connection, right?
Right.
About 2 or 3 songs in, Michelle's like, oh, I have to go. I'm like, wait, and she's already taken off, right? She's going to go throw up, be sick. She drank too much, right?
Can't leave her alone.
Oh my goodness. I'm like, oh. So anyways, we take off and she's climbing uphill, we're at the Oakland Coliseum in the basketball arena. Well, I don't know if that's got its own name, right? We're over in Oakland and she's walking up like the stairs, and when people are coming down into the concert, she started climbing over the people sitting in the chairs right there on the first row, the first seat in. She was on a boogie. She was headed out. She was getting out, right?
This is probably a smart move.
So we make it to the top and we make it to the edge of the doors. Security's there, and they're like, security's like, if you guys go out, there's no coming back in. Show's over. I'm like, you got to go out. She's like, let's go. So we go outside, we sit down. She, does whatever. She throws up, comes on, whatever. No big deal. So Rock Med shows up. The medics show up, right? It was like a team of these guys. They had like a wheelchair and everything. It's like, nope, we got to take her in, picked her up, put her in the wheelchair, covered her all up and stuff. And they took us down underneath the Coliseum, like in this little MASH unit they had set up and stuff, right? They had this like different like little things hanging, little makeshift, hospital down there.
MASH.
Hell of people were fucked up. We walk in and the paramedics are like, that's what happens when you stage dive and nobody catches you. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, that kind of shit. Other people all drunk, other people all hurting and stuff. Anyways, Michelle's passed the fuck out, right? And they give her own person. They wake her up every 5 minutes or whatever, make sure she's breathing. They check her pulse, the whole thing, right? This whole time, I'm sitting there with this Rock Med nurse chick, whatever, tattoos, talking about whatever. I could hear the roar of the crowd above us, roar, and the rumble and stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, I can hear
great,
Ozzy.
we can hear the music.
This is great. We can put our nose to the door, maybe we can smell the food. So we can dance. So we're sitting there. This whole thing goes, and the whole concert goes by. We missed the whole show, and I'm like, whatever.
These guys played for an hour, and then there's like an hour between sets. She didn't wake up?
No, and it wasn't until Ozzy had finished did they come in and say, okay, wake up, you have to go.
Oh, yeah.
Did she kind of like, then she came to pretty well. She was still pretty drunk, but she came to pretty well. She kind of slept off the peak of it, right? And then, we carry her out. We where we walk her out. We find the car. We find everybody, because there's no cell phones back in the day. We lost Mikey, and somehow or another, I think we called home, and he had called home and left a message for us. That's how, hey, GenX, remember how to communicate back in the day? When
call the home base.
Yeah, you had to call the home base and leave a message. Hey, if Mikey calls, hey, did Mikey call? Yeah, he did, blah, blah, blah. He's over at the Denny's over on blah, 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 downtown Oakland. So we go over and pick him up, and we head home. And, that was the whole story was that's how I found Korn.
That's the first time I ever
There's
saw
a video out there actually with the date. Family Values Tour. Korn's headlining the Family Values Tour. It's got Ice Cube, Rammstein, Prodigy, and I guess Limp Bizkit, right? They're out on tour that hits the Cow Palace out there in the Bay Area, right? This guy wins tickets on the radio, but like backstage passes.
I used to win stuff on the radio all the time.
But they were corn cage tickets.
It just said corn cage tickets.
Okay.
Right. Big Caller 10. I was driving home from work. It must have been early cell phone days. And I was on the Dublin grade.
Yeah.
So I was coming out of San Francisco, coming home. Over the grade is where cell phones would die. So I was worried about not even getting the call in.
Right.
But it worked.
Yeah.
Your Caller 10.
Got the tickets. We go to the concert. They told him, come to this door at a certain time or whatever. And there's a group of us.
We got wristbands or something.
We got wristbands.
Yeah.
And one of the guys, so there was this Korn video that was released way back in the day, like their early days, kind of like their Cliff 'Em All kind of version.
Yeah.
And one of their guys in that video was the guy who came to that door and let us in and let us all backstage. He put us in this corn cage. We were in this single jail cell that ran the length behind the backstage, behind the cage. Yeah.
We were the backdrop for the band.
We were the backdrop for the band in this cage, and we were up there just dancing
Oakland.
and just doing all this shit, blah, 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 and doing all the cool shit. But we got to be on stage. We were behind Fieldy.
Yeah, we were behind Fieldy.
We were behind Fieldy.
So we were on that side of the stage.
And David was a little bit over here. We weren't quite behind
looking
David.
down at the drummer like this.
Yes.
David
David was
looking at Fieldy's back.
over here. And then seeing what the band sees when they're doing a show.
And we saw Ice Cube backstage. And we saw that he was tiny.
He's not that big.
He's very small.
He's not that big. He's bigger than me. I'm just saying, So I guess he was not a giant dude.
They make him look big on TV.
I got a video.
Yeah?
I do.
Let's see.
So I wanted a good headbanging video by Metallica, which isn't hard to find, but true Metallica fans remember the time they went to Monsters of Rock, I think it was, in Moscow, back when it was still communist and still, like, they were still the bad guys and all that stuff. And they went and rocked a 1.2 million people crowd. Look at that shit, dude. That's headbanging shit right there. Shout out to Jason Newsted, the absolute energy of the band. The time he was in, I'm not taking anything away from the rest of those guys, but holy shit. Did you ever see Metallica during the Newsted years? You were pumped. And when they let him sing shit,
yeah,
and like the breakdown, the bridge of Creeping Death and like Whiplash and shit,
yeah,
dude, it was dope. It was bad as fuck.
Show highlights for as far as seeing them live back then. I loved watching Newsted.
Absolutely, dude, and they knew it.
He should come on the show. Newsted would come on the show.
Jason Newsted, hashtag Newsted.
He would come on the show, bro.
Come on the show and just talk about your new projects and
bro,
shit.
Just take the third seat and come hang out. We want to hear about some of this. He's probably got some good Metallica stories that he's never told before. Like the ones that would get censored off of any other show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would. We don't care.
We don't care, huh?
Yeah, you could tell those stories here.
Open forum.
Yeah.
Call this the line main years for Hetfield. Yeah. If he did Wizard of Oz, he'd have to be the lion. Any metal fan has banged their head to this song. This is an absolute icon. It's a standard. There's just no questions about it. The question is this a headbanging song? Absolutely.
Oh.
It's a 10. We're giving it a 10.
Yeah, Metallica gets a 10. Most of this album is a 10.
This album, again.
This whole Ride the Lightning album is a 10.
Something GenX absolutely gets to appreciate is the album. The B-sides.
Copy of this, dude. I had this. I heard Master of Puppets, but I didn't get a copy of Master of Puppets. Someone gave me a copy of Ride the Lightning. So this is what I got to listen to for a long time before I ever got a copy of Master of Puppets. Because this was tape days.
Yes.
And someone made me a copy of Ride the Lightning.
Nice. I was just the opposite. I didn't find this till after.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, this wasn't until after, because I heard Damage Incorporated. I was sitting in the backseat of someone's car. They put on Damage Incorporated. I said, who the fuck are these guys?
Yeah.
They're my new favorite band.
My girlfriend at the time, Stephanie, shout out to Stephanie. It was like an 8th grade or freshman year. She found it, and she's all, this song, listen, it goes Flash Before My, it's a pretty cool song. Listen to this song. Listen to this. She gave me the tape. She never got the tape back.
That's it.
I'm like, have you heard the rest of this? Like,
Still have this
like
tape.
good Lord. Have you heard, like, Trapped Under Ice? Have you heard, Creeping Death? Have you heard?
Dude,
Oh, my
this
goodness.
whole album.
Bangers.
Yeah, it is.
When we say bangers,
This is what we mean.
Hopefully YouTube lets us play it.
yeah, Lars. Let us play it, Lars.
Brother Jason Newsted hair, I could do the circle.
Yes. Shaved on the sides.
That's all I wanted. When I got out of the Marine Corps, I was growing Jason Newsted hair. That's what I told everybody.
They can still do that, bro. I think once my shit starts going gray, I might just do that.
It wasn't even this long. I didn't even make it this far. Once I couldn't handle it anymore, I got rid of it.
We know we got some singing people, so repeat it with me. Die, die, die.
The first time I got to see Metallica, my cousin Mikey got tickets. That was a good one. My cousin Mikey got tickets. I got one, and I had an extra one. I'm not sure why I had an extra one, but I had an extra one. I'm at school that day, and Mikey's on his way down to pick me up, and
Because you had to go get the tickets.
we had the tickets already.
Oh.
We had them. We would buy them like at Sears or something like that, or somewhere in the mall. There was a
Blockbuster.
it was
Blockbuster.
before Blockbuster. I want to say maybe
The record store. What was that record store that closed?
Yeah. I don't remember where he bought them. There was like a Ticketmaster or a ticket outlet somewhere, right? So I had an extra ticket, and I'm in high school, and the plan, without even thinking twice, was to leave at lunchtime and go to this concert. Concert wasn't until 6 or 7, but we needed time to roll doobies, and get all
little
pregame, all that stuff, right?
In the parking lot.
I hit up Mike Engel. Shout out Engel. He's a follower, man. So love you, brother. I hit him up, and it was like, he was like, dude, I can't just ditch school. Like, just go to this concert. My mom went, and just no way. I'm like, oh well, damn. Are you sure? Blah blah blah. So he couldn't go, but I did. I invited him. He couldn't go. Shout out, bro. But we took off and went and seen the And Justice for All tour and Queen's Right before Silent Lucidity came out. That's who opened for him. It was pre-Silent Lucidity, Queen's Right.
Queen's Right.
Yeah, and And Justice for All tour. So the very first song I ever heard by Metallica live was Blackened.
That's what they opened with?
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
I got to see them at Monsters of Rock. I don't know what year that was, at Candlestick Park. And they were still playing all Master Puppets.
Yeah.
And they played just a couple songs off of And Justice for All for us.
The new stuff.
We've never played this live before type shit. Yeah, it was pretty dope.
Yeah.
So we got to hear new songs. Keith Logan bought me the And Justice for All album for my birthday.
Yeah.
Keith Logan.
What up, shout out, Keith. 1991, headbang score of 8. Not a terribly intricate riff. But good Lord, did he nail it?
I don't know my guitars all that well anymore, but I think this is like an alternate tuning. Tune your guitar differently to play this song. That just makes it sound so metal.
I'm easily bothered by persistence. One step from lashing out at you. Hear what I have to get under my
Doing the riffs and that voice, bro. Pantera was the shit. Cowboys from Hell was banger album.
Phil Anselmo,
Bro.
and Dimebag Darrell. Rip. Rest in peace, Dimebag. Zach Wilde is filling in right now. I was on tour with those guys. He's shredding for them. Zach Wild's
I heard
I love Zach Wild. I do.
Diamond Daryl, when he was young, used to enter these contests where you send in a tape of yourself playing guitar and they judge the guys.
Yeah.
And he would win the contest, and he won it a bunch of years in a row, so they finally just made him a judge.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Yeah. Okay, let somebody else
that's
in.
5 years running, dude.
Come be a judge.
Come be a judge. We'll send you these tapes when we're done. We need your score. They said that the guy that got punched in the face for this album cover got paid $300.
Really?
Yeah. They didn't know how famous these guys were going to be.
Huh. I'll take $300.
$300.
Get punched in the mouth.
There was no AI back then.
Yeah.
That dude took a punch. And some photographer had to nail it because you only get one shot.
Yay.
Hold on, we got to take two. I'm going to punch you on the other side
Go.
now.
Yes. Vocal display of power, 1991. Headbang score of 8. Walk. Pantera. Again, Zach Wild's on shredding on the act for these guys while they're on tour. Big fan of Zach Wild. He looks like a giant Viking, like a medieval Viking guy.
That's awesome.
But he can shred. He was touring with Ozzy when I watched Ozzy at Aftershock, and they played a lot of Sabbath stuff, like Fairies Wear Boots and stuff. They played that song, and they played like a 12-minute like solo section, like of just Zach just shredding on shit. And back in the day, your concerts or had a solo section. Your drummer would do a solo, or your lead guitar. And because back in those days, when you built a band of people making music together, a lot of times it was built around a hot guitarist or a hot drummer, right? The whole band was built around that. So they would do a solo during the show, whatever. But watching Zach Wild do all that stuff was just shredding on that stuff. I was like, good Lord, that was amazing. So, shout out.
That's insane.
We're not going to bang our heads and have a headbanging list without having some Pantera on there. Period.
Yeah,
there are a ton of other songs that just hit and bang from Pantera. Leave us in the comments, because what we're doing here right now, in case you're just joining us, which is absolutely impossible.
Yeah.
Go
back to the beginning.
Just in case you're joining us right now, I'm going to kick it up a notch to the highest notch as far as metal ingredients go.
Is it an 11?
Well, as far as headbang, it's
list?
a solid 10. But the song we're going to play is from an album called Iowa from 2001.
Very unassuming.
It just sounds basic. Iowa. What's really out in Iowa? But you know what? All my Slipknot fans. Hold on. It gets better. This is just the intro. Sounds like they have more than one drummer. That was Joey Jordison on this album. Little peek. Little peek. Corey Taylor. You just need a hug, Corey. Hold on. It's a mosh pit. It's just not gonna fucking happen. Sing it to me. People equal shit.
It's not very nice.
Oh my goodness.
Slipknot. Not very nice.
Oh, fuck that song. is metal, dude.
It's very metal.
That would be Intravenous Coffee or something like that. That song right there. Just, I mean, you don't have to like it. You don't have to like them or that style, but holy shit, within the headbanging world, that's a headbanger. That's a headbanger right there. You're banging your head to that shit. Period, point blank. It's like playing a good round of GTA and escaping 5 stars, man. That's what that feels like right there. Yep. I know. I just made it out of 5 stars.
It's like workout music, adrenaline music, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Good workout playlist.
Mm-hmm. We'll be right back after these messages.
I am stuck on Band-Aid brand, 'cause Band-Aid stuck on me.
Only Band-Aid brand adhesive bandages from Johnson & Johnson have our Super Stay-On adhesive. You'll notice the difference because it stays on you better than anything else you can buy.
I can't remember this one, guys. I'm trying to remember System of a Down.
Oh my goodness, those guys are freaking metal too.
That debut album, bro.
Oh my goodness.
Good Lord. That was half my mountain biking playlist back in the day.
Did your mountain biking playlist include Bang Your Head?
So Funsies, Quiet Riot, 1983, Mental Health. I had to throw it in. Headbang score, we'll give it a 7.
This was on my list of records that I got when I sent in my penny from the TV Guide and got in trouble from my parents for saying
This is one of the ones?
Yeah, I got Quiet Riot.
Okay,
Yeah, bro.
so if the interwebs are correct and social media is accurate, I hear Doge is coming after you.
Yeah.
Yes. Coming after all those Columbia House fraudsters.
Grinder, I'll drive her. Mama says that I never mind her. And no brains.
What?
I'm insane. The teacher says that I'm one big.
Sing it for me, Mike.
I'm like a laser, 6-string razor. I got a mouth like an alligator. I want it louder, more power. I'm gonna rock it till it strikes the hour. Bang your head. Metal help to drive you back.
I hope YouTube lets us play all these songs.
Metal help to drive you back. All right.
That's a good song. I love that song. Shout out to our generation. I mean, we all claim we have the best music, but I mean, come on.
If you don't have Quiet Riot when you were in high school, then who really are you?
But at the same time, we had Phil Collins floating around in every freaking thing we did, and we sang along to that too. Today, I'm driving to work literally singing out loud, hand out the window in traffic, Billy, don't you lose my number, because you're not anywhere that I can find you.
I would never. You let that play in your car?
Oh, now Billy. I was
Collins
banging it, bro.
No play.
You won't know Phil Collins in your car, bro?
No. Wow. No.
I was knee deep in Billy, bro. I was giving
Hold
me
on,
some
that sounds
Billy.
Sounds pretty bad.
I was giving Billy my number. That's all I'm saying. Off the 1986 Mustangs Animal Peace Cells. Opens with a pretty thick.
I wasn't a huge fan, man, but good Lord, did this guy write some riffs, dude.
The Riffmeister, Dave Mustaine, Peace Cells, 1986. Like I was saying, I'll be honest. Like I said, I've always chose Metallica. But this is a headbanger, bro. Why do you think I'm broke? Ha!
He's so Dave Mustaine.
We needed to be more Dave Mustaine-y, please.
I liked Symphony of Destruction.
Yes.
That's pretty
so
thrashy
Megadeth is good. I never.
Yeah, they had some.
I had to be like a kind of a closet fan of those guys. You know what I mean? Because I was so stupidly dedicated to basic ass Metallica.
Lars.
Yeah,
Because you
Lars.
loved Lars.
I didn't love Lars. Lars sucks, bro. He's better than me. Lars, come on the show, but
Yeah,
don't
come and
sue us.
defend yourself.
You left so much room. Anywho, all right. So this next one here is classic 80s metal. These guys, I got to see these guys just this last year. Loved the show, everything about it. Loved everything about it. Now, is this the same kind of headbanger as People Equal Shit? It is not. But have many a kids, while they're sewing their Judas Priest patch on their leather or their denim jacket, playing this album in the background, bang their fucking head with their deodorant stick like this, or whatever they're singing with, their hairbrush, singing in their mirror and shit. I'm a rock star. Hell yes. That's what we're celebrating. It's Headbangers, bro. It's a case of do or die. You got another thing coming. Metal icon and standard Judas Priest 1982 from Screaming for Vengeance, which is also a banger fucking song. I chose this one.
They have a bunch. Breaking the law.
And all the shots. I never understood that. He's got an ace car coming down the something. I don't know.
In the 90s, Rob Halford was in a band called Fight. And they used to play a lot of local shows down in Southern California, man. And those... So I got to see Rob Halford a bunch of times down
That's
there.
pretty dope.
And I think they maybe used to play some Judas Priest stuff, but Fight was a pretty badass band. And just being able to hear Rob Halford sing like that back in the day, like that, because does he still do it? He can still pull this off?
He sings these songs quite well.
Yeah?
Yeah. It was a pleasure watching the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Because some of these are belters for sure.
Glenn Tipton and KK Downing were the guitarists back in the day. Why I know their names, I don't know. I think I had a poster, had their names on it. Rob Halford, Glenn Tipton, and KK Downing. I think they were the original guitar players.
They're in a South American tour right now.
Yes, fuck yes.
Mexico, Finland, Norway, then they go to Europe. European tour.
All right. This next Headbanger's got a really long intro. 1986. Raining Blood from the album Rain in Blood. I'm giving this headbang score of 10.
Yeah, right.
Love them or hate them, tell me this ain't a headbanging song. Tell me the crowd's not banging their head and moshing and just going absolutely freaking nuts. Good Lord, Slayer. Dave Lombardo is an absolute fucking beast. If you listen, you can hear obviously you hear the double bass, but. All right, guys, can you go a little bit faster for just a few minutes, please? Thank you.
Trapped in purgatory, a lifeless object alive, awaiting reprisal.
more the heavy metal is fuck, dude. All right, you guys. This is why it's a 10. Give a shout out to Slayer. I've seen these guys live a couple times. Pretty fucking amazing, dude.
Almost got to. Almost got to go with Lorenzo. Who's going to come on the show?
Lorenzo, come on the show.
Talk about Slayer.
Slayer's good.
So the last one official are on our list anyway, and I do have some honorable mentions. And this one here is not what you think is your typical headbanging song, but as soon as you play it, as I play it, you're gonna be like, "That's an absolute headbanging song."
Is this the real life?
Oh yeah, that one part.
Is this just fantasy?
I hope YouTube lets us play this one.
It's a 70s jam too. This isn't from the 80s, is it?
No, this is old, man. A Night at the Opera, released 1975. Watch the movie; it's good. It's a masterpiece song. Headbang score of 10. This is, I'm gonna say, arguably the best headbanger ever written,
As proven by Wayne and Garth.
as evidenced by probably the pain in my neck after listening to this shit the next day.
Every single time.
Yeah, what song did I bang my head to the most at the party last night?
Yeah, sit still to this too. Go ahead and try.
To me.
Just killed a man.
Video. So I don't have to sync up the video. I'm good. I can play it.
Goodbye, everybody. I've got to go. Gotta leave you all behind.
Face. Head it here. Clap, 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 clap.
Silhouette of a man. Scaramouche, will you do the fandango? Thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening me. Galileo, Figaro. Magnifico! I'm just a poor boy, nobody loves me. Oh, mamma mia, mamma mia. Mamma mia, let me go. Beelzebub has a devil put aside for me. For me. For me.
Headbanger. Told you.
So you think you can snow me and spit my eye? So you think you can love me and leave me to die?
Bohemian Rhapsody is going to end our official list of the ones that we wanted to bring to you on this episode of Generation X, the last generation. Fuck, easy for me to say, huh? It's the last true generation of headbangers. Period. Point blank. My kids bang their head, and my kids like some of the music, but not like we did.
This was like part of who we were.
It's headbangers.
Like sore,
It was a
sore
dance.
neck.
It was a
If you
thing.
never had a sore neck from music,
Are you really musicking?
you're really a headbanger.
I don't think so. And that's how I picked some of these songs. Like, I know my neck was sore the next day after some of these songs,
Yeah.
especially the Metallica joints. I mean, that's just spend hours, right? But I do have some honorable mentions. Tell me, should this one have made the list?
I wanna rock!
What are you gonna do with your life?
Rock.
Turn it down, you say, but all I gotta say to you is time and time again to say no.
It's a headbanger.
An anti-authority song.
To play, but all I gotta say to when you tell me not to play, I say no.
Sister. I'll give a shout out to D. Snyder and the boys. Give a big shout out to D. Snyder. He defended rock and roll way back in the day. You guys want to look this up, especially you youngins. He took on Congress and went to bat for rock and roll and fought against the PMRC and the explicit lyrics and all of that bullshit. And
Yeah, they were going to ban.
they were going to censor our music. They were going to take away
censor
gangster
our
rap.
music.
They were going to take away heavy metal because it was satanic and devil worshiping. We're going to do an episode on the 80s metal devil worshiping music stuff.
Play it
Geraldo
backwards.
Rivera and all that shit. Yeah, it's crazies. Oh,
What else you got on there? Honorable mention.
little Avenged Sevenfold.
Sounds like Hollywood music.
That's so Hollywood. Are they a Hollywood band? I don't know anything about them.
I don't know like any origin stuff, but I know
He
they have some
sounds
pretty
very-
fucking hardcore songs.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to close the episode with a shout out to the old original White Zombie.
I thought you were going to say White Snake.
No. Welcome to Planet Motherfucker. White Zombie and the boys.
I remember when this
and the
came
girl.
out, too.
Council.
This shit is insane. It's like, what the hell are these guys doing?
The guy looks dead. Why does he look dead? I wanted to throw this guy in because it's one of the thickest fucking metal riffs I know of. It's just a fat fucking riff, man.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
I
good
remember.
lord.
What year was this? Do you have your year?
No, I don't have a year on this one. Early 90s. Fucking kiss me. Crash down overhead. That's going to do it for us tonight. I want to give a shout out to all of our listeners out there and especially everyone who makes it to the end of the podcast. I see
Headbangers.
where you make it and I see where you
Oh,
go.
there goes the speaking spell.
Oh, snap. I want to give a shout out to all of our listeners and all of our subscribers. And if you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button down here in the corner and we will see you next week. My name is Jason.
And I'm Greg.
Peace out, everybody. Run, dun, 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 dun. Metal. Oh, wow. Hella metal.
So metal.
Deuces.